And there we are. Good evening, good afternoon, all you American guys. Good evening to everybody in the UK. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening on the audio experience, massive shout out to you as well. The audio experience, for those who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows about it already now because I talk about it all the time. But that's basically the audio from these broadcasts and lots of other audio from different features that I do from actonthis.tv or from the Facebook group or phone calls I make to people in the acting industry, God knows what. Personal development little episodes as well. Go over on iTunes and on Stitcher.com to something called the Act on This TV audio experience. Completely free to download, free to subscribe to. I'll deliver 3 to 4 pieces of audio to your device every single week. Someone tweeted me this morning to say that they got so engrossed in one of the audio experience podcasts that they nearly missed their stop on the train, and God knows where they would have ended up. But it's good, seriously, and it would mean the world to me if you went and subscribed, because it's just, it helps me get the message out there. So good evening, everybody. We've got some new viewers from all around the world tonight, so thank you so much for joining us. This is one of 2 live broadcasts that I do a week. I do one on a Monday night at 9 p.m. UK time, one on a Wednesday night at 9 p.m. UK time. Monday night is called Motivation and Mind Hacks, and Wednesday night we do a book club. This week is going to be the start of a brand new book, and I don't know which book we're going to do yet. Fanny, thank you so much for your recommendation of the book you sent me on Instagram. I'm going to check that out. I've got a couple of books behind me that I haven't read that we might do, but if you've got any suggestions yourself, please always tweet me at ActOnThisTV, at Ross A. Grant, or you can hit me up on Instagram as well under the same usernames, literally the same everywhere. Apart from what I want to talk tonight, because there's a new address that a lot of you have already seen, but it's going to become a much bigger part of my life from, around about 14 days from today onwards. And that is facebook.com/Watch Ross, right? And I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, okay? But for a long time, you've heard me speak about this before. I've been wanting to kind of open up my world, my life, my acting career, my voiceover career, other online businesses that I do. I do quite a lot of online business, so I have actonthis.tv, I have bulletproofactor.com. I've got branching out into the clothing world, which I know sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's just something that I've always been like, you know what, I'm interested in online marketing, like full stop, and clothing, fashion is kind of... I'm not like a massive fashionista, as you know. Basically, my wardrobe comprises of plain T-shirts. But I feel with the knowledge that I have, teaming up with someone who is a fashionista, we can kind of crack a bit of the clothing industry as well. So I've started that very recently. That's a very new business that I'm starting. All kinds of things. And I wanted to open up all of this world to everybody who's just willing to watch, basically. I've not really nailed down how I was going to do that until recently, and I plain tight T-shirts, says Gary. They are pretty tight, but just like to buy them an extra small or a lot cheaper, Gary. And I've wanted to kind of just get a lot more of my world kind of out there. I get a lot of emails from people every day asking for advice on the acting industry, voiceover, just all kinds of things. I was like, what better way to answer those questions, really, than just send an email back, which I do every single time. If you ever email me, you'll get a reply. But what better way, is there than actually kind of opening up and showing you guys everything, literally going, right, this is what I am implementing in every area of my life, warts and all, successes, failures, come and watch it, fly on the wall, watch me fly, watch me fall, everything in between. And we'll, good evening, Helen, and we'll just see what happens. So from the first Monday in October, I am now going to be doing, to begin with, a weekly vlog that I hope eventually, after a few months, will go daily. So you'll get a 10-minute episode, basically, every single evening, about 8 p.m, of what I've been doing. It'll be the day before. So yesterday would go out today would go out tomorrow, and so on. Literally Monday to Friday, maybe even the weekend eventually, but it's going to be a daily vlog Monday to Friday. It's going to begin a weekly vlog every Monday whilst we build this and test this. Okay, but whilst I've been kind of working on setting this up over the last 8 weeks, I've learned a shit ton of lessons about what to do, what not to do, all kinds of different things. And I want to share 5 of the top lessons that I've learned tonight as I've been going through this process with you that will hopefully inspire you, not to necessarily do the same thing, but if there's something in your life that you are like, man, I've been wanting to do this thing for a while and I don't know how to go about it, or I don't think I can do it, or maybe you're not quite believing in yourself enough, I'm hoping some of the lessons that I've learned tonight are going to help you just push yourself that little bit further so that you actually stop talking about it and start doing it. Because one of the lessons in here tonight you're going to hear from me is just that. It's very easy to talk about stuff in it and get, you know, when you set a goal, it's like that easy. It's almost like you get dead excited because you've set that goal. And then actually, when the excitement kind of dies down, you go, oh shit, it was almost nicer just to get excited about it and plan for it, because that's more exciting almost than doing it, because that's where the fear kicks in. So I want to share with you guys tonight, these 5 lessons, and hopefully you can share with me what you might have in the wings, what you might have in the pipeline, outside your acting career, just whatever, something you're holding back on that you really want to commit to, and then us as a community, we can come together and help you actually achieve that. So I'm going to put some slides up on the screen, and we will begin very shortly. Would massively appreciate a retweet of this if you want to share it on Twitter, if you're watching on Twitter, or on Periscope, or if you're on Facebook, give it a little share out to your people, because the lessons tonight, although loads of us on here are in the acting industry, media in some sort, Gary's a writer. We've got other people on here from different areas in the industry. This all applies. You know what? It just applies to any human being on the planet, basically. Thank you, Carly, for retweeting that. All right, Bobby. I don't know if I said hello to you tonight, but thanks for being here, mate. Thanks for joining us. And I hope you're still there on Facebook. A few people are there on Facebook. Don't be shy. Leave us some comments. Let us know. Don't play hard to get. Let us know what you think of this as we go along as well. So these are, guys, 5 lessons that I have learned from starting my own weekly vlog. And I've put part 1 here because this is pre-first episode. This is actually in terms of getting this set up. When I've done the first episode or 2, I'm going to do part 2 with you guys on one of these as well, because I'm sure there is going to be a shed load of lessons that I'm going to learn actually, via putting the vlog out and from the feedback that I get from you people. Thank you for retweeting, Dawn. So that's a little share screen that I always put up, but you're already doing that. We don't need to focus on that. And this is a little kind of recap. Like I say, I've more or less said this already tonight, but over the last 8 weeks, I've been planning something new, okay? I've wanted to open my world up to you guys for quite some time, but I've been unsure how to go about it. I receive emails every day asking for advice on the acting industry, voiceover industry, and online business. I must have had 6 or 7 of those today. If you are one of the people who've sent me an email, I will get back to you. I promise you, it just sometimes takes me a little while, but give me a week and you'll definitely get a reply. What better way to answer these questions, though, than to actually show you every move I am making in my life and career. So in 2 weeks' time, literally today, okay, I will be launching the first episode of my weekly vlog. It's called #WatchRoss. Just so we can, it was the most simplest form. I mean, coming up with a name, I could have spent 6 weeks on the name, guys. That's just procrastination. It doesn't need a fancy name. If the content is good enough, that's almost like an extra bonus lesson here. If your content is going to be good enough, which I hope this is, no one gives a shit about the name. I mean, you come up with Google, or any other, crazy name that we've got, Zoopla, that we have here in the UK for property, or, God, I don't know, G-Tech for those Hoovers that are all the rage right now. Just a name. If the thing is good, no one gives a shit. But Facebook are introducing, Tony and whoever it was who was joining us from the States as well tonight will know on Facebook now, you guys will have something called a watch tab. We don't have it in the UK here as of yet, but they are rolling it out for us. It's a little tab you click on, it says watch, and you can watch like purpose created content just for Facebook. So I thought, well, you know what, if Facebook are going with the word watch, I'm going to go with the word watch. It wasn't taken. WatchRoss is where it's at. So if you want to be one of the first people to watch this vlog when it comes out, go to facebook.com/WatchRoss. And please, for now, there's nothing to see there really, bar a banner. Just like the page and click on follow, and then you're going to get notifications every time I put an episode out. These episodes are not going on YouTube. They're not going anywhere else. You might see snippets of them on social media like Twitter and Instagram, but you'll never see a full episode anywhere bar that Facebook page. So facebook.com/WatchRoss. I would be eternally grateful if you would support us on that and go and like that page. So here are 5 key lessons I have learned from this rather daunting process of setting this thing up. And like I say, this is even pre-episode 1, okay? So this is just what I've learned by thinking about doing this, all right? And I just hope it inspires you guys a little bit to start doing more shit in your life that you've been wanting to do for a while. Lesson 1, very simple lesson. thinking of the perfect way to do something stops you from doing anything. Okay, give me some hearts on Periscope if you've been here, or you might even be here right now. And on Facebook, let me know if you are thinking of doing something and you want to do the perfect way. You want to figure out, because I do. I'm a proper perfectionist, and it does my head in, because being a perfectionist is actually, it's not a great trait. Okay, it's bullshit. It actually just, if you're not careful, stops you from doing the thing you want to do. So after the initial excitement of a new project dies down, and you might have had this yourself, you might have been like, you know what, I want to write a play, Gary, or a screenplay, or other people here might want to set up a theatre company or shoot a short film or whatever it is you want to do. After that initial excitement of like, yes, this is what I want to do, it's going to be great. After all that dies down, fear and expectation start to kick in, or at least for me, they have done over the last 8 weeks. And they can easily take hold of you if you aren't conscious of them, okay? Fear, as we know, is a great disguiser, right? It's great at disguising itself as practicality. And if you're a perfectionist, or if you're just a Virgo, I was just born, my star sign's Virgo. I think it's a trait of Virgos where basically we're so practical, we just need like everything to be done perfectly or like really practically. Practicality is something that you can very easily justify for not doing something, and it isn't practicality, it's absolutely fear, okay? So before you know it, you're convincing yourself that you can't begin until you have the perfect solution in place. Now, for me, this perfect solution was all the equipment and how I'm going to shoot it, and it's all bullshit, all right? There is never, I've learned this the hard way, a perfect solution. There just isn't, okay? I found myself getting way too caught up in kit, okay? Choices about what I'm going to use, testing out dozens of cameras, microphones, editing styles, software I'm going to use. And this was all fear-induced procrastination. I can see that now. It's just bullshit. Like, honestly, and look what I put there, but guess what? Now I feel I have the perfect-ish solution. Oh God, I've spent so long. I've spent a lot of money. And you know what? It's still not perfect, because you can't get a perfect solution for anything that's audio-visual. You just can't. The combination of cameras and mics and everything like that, you'll get one thing that does one thing and another thing that does the other thing you need to do. You can't get the same thing to do both. And that's very much the same in many walks of life. But now I've got that all that like perfect-ish solution. Guess what? That initial fear is still there if I allow it to be. So what I was initially feeling, that I then dressed up as practicality, went, oh no, well, it's fine to feel like that, because I'll just dress it up as practicality and I'll go and buy all this kit. And even buying the kit's good fun. Now I've done all that, I'm like, oh, that feeling I initially had is back again, because now it's actually time to start doing stuff. So finding that perfect-ish solution was simply a distraction from taking action from myself, okay? And, I was aware of that at the time. That's why I didn't let it go on too long, but I know I could spend another 6 weeks testing out cameras, testing out microphones, doing test runs of this, that, and the other. And it's just procrastinating from putting out episode 1, okay? So what do we always say? Stop talking about it, just fucking do it, okay? Or maybe some people say that a little bit more politely. But I want to know now, give me some examples. Is there anything in your life right now that you are talking about but have not yet done? And maybe you've been talking about it for a while. I'm just going to stop for a few minutes and just a few seconds, give us 30 seconds, a minute, just to let you put some comments in I just want to know if that's you. Is there something you, Bobby wants me to add a few more F-bombs. I can't add more than the usual quantity, Bobby. But is there something in your life, guys, that you're like, I've been talking about this for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 6 months. Evan's here. Evan, how you doing? Writing a comedy for Alex. Caroline says yes. Changing my body shape, says Fanny. Keep saying I'll do it. No, actually getting fatter, she says. You were taking quite a bit of action for a while, Fanny. What happened there? Getting more of my shorts made, said Bobby. Took me years before I sent out scripts to people, says Gary. And Gary, look what you've done in the past year, man. You've written a play, you've taken it out. Hopefully that was a great experience for you, and you should be, pumped up, have more belief in your potential now to take more action for next time. You know all about the success cycle. We've been through that many times. Hopefully that was a good experience. Fanny says, I gave up after 9 weeks of the 12-week challenge. Oh, man, it's so common. It's so common. 2 plays, Gary's an amazing Gary. It's brilliant, man. I know you did the Orlando one. I don't know about the other one. Getting into improv too, says Alex. Evan says maybe getting finding actors. What's that, Evan? I think that's a typo. To lab story. What does that mean? Give us it again. But yeah, it looks like many people have got that thing that they've been talking about. Anybody? Let's have a look. I'm just going to refresh on Facebook, see if anybody's got anything on Facebook as well. I'm sure we all have that thing. For me, it's been this vlog for a long time that we want to do, that we're talking about, that feels good to talk about. You know what? When someone says, oh, what you up to? It feels great sometimes to go, oh, I've got this really grand idea of what I want to do. And yeah, I'm just planning on doing this. You know, and that's sometimes satisfying enough for us so we don't take the action, because just telling people about it makes us feel like we've already done it. This is what's dangerous sometimes about telling people your goals, because sometimes that in itself feels good enough, so you don't actually have to go and do it. Evan's got an idea for a play he wants to write. So yeah, it's like we've all got those things. So we need to stop talking about it, because trust me, I've tried to look for this perfect solution to do this vlog over the last 8 or 9 weeks. There ain't one. And whatever it is in your life, there is no perfect time, perfect solution. There's never a right time. We say that all the time. There can't ever be a right time. But it's a beautiful thing, because by default, it means it's always the right time. So we've got to stop talking about it, and we've got to start doing it. And Fanny, if that means you've got to get back on the 12-week body challenge, start again from week 1 and go all the way through for the 12 weeks. You're going to be better equipped this time, because you know at 9 weeks you're going to want to stop. That's the same for any positive habit creation. Generally, roughly 70 to 80% through is the hardest time. It's called habit gravity. It grabs you back down. And only if you would go, another 10%, you hit like 80, 90%, you hit something called escape velocity. They talk about that in habit formation, and that actually is where it becomes a part of your life. Tony says, I want to do my blog and live videos in person. Been getting overwhelmed with this and acting goals. Interesting, Tony. Well, if I can help you with any kind of live stuff, I mean, obviously this is 100% live right now, this setup. If you need any help with technology or anything like that, let me know if I can help. That's no problem. There's a right and a wrong time for pole dancing, says Stephen. There is, Stephen. I can't believe I read that comment out. Sometimes I look at Stephen's comments and I just ignore them. But tonight, you made me read it, Stephen, because it sounded like it was going to be a normal comment until I got halfway through the sentence. But thank you for being here. Right, so that's lesson number 1. Basically, there just is no perfect time. Looking for the perfect solution or the perfect time to do something, it actually just stops you doing anything, guys, right? So we've got to stop talking about it and start doing it. Lesson number 2 that I found is that you can't do everything on your own. And it's often more fun if you don't. Okay? Those who know me know that I struggle with delegation. This has always been a part of my life. I'm a bit of a control freak, okay? Over the last 8 years of running Act on This, I have controlled 99.9% of the business. This is the solitary supervisor, Fanny, definitely. So if those who have taken Michael Hyatt's productivity course, then you... Sorry, something just popped up on my screen there about Diane's iPad. I've got a neighbour called Diane who lives next door, and I think she just tried to pair her iPad to my Bluetooth on my computer. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you've not done Michaal Hyatt's productivity calculator, let me throw this slide up here. Go and do this, right, after this. All you need to do is go to act.network/am I productive. Completely free to do. act.network/am I productive. I think you've got until you've got about 48 hours left to do this before he takes it down. Completely free, but it'll tell you what role you are in the productivity kind of personality type. I am what's known as a solitary supervisor. I love to have basically just control over everything, and it's nonsense because I know that it's doing me no good at all. Okay. Over the last 8 years, like I say, I've done everything for Acts on This. That includes writing every word on the site, recording, editing all the interviews, designing all the graphics, literally everything. However, what's become very, very apparent to me in the last 8 weeks is that I'm the biggest blockage in my business and career right now. I just am. I'm completely maxed out. Okay, my business and career cannot possibly grow any bigger unless I just get out of my own way and start building a team. And that's what I've been focusing on this week. I'm just very much kind of at the height of what I can output myself. I can't do any more myself. I need other people. So I have to relinquish control and invest in training others, or I don't grow. And people need to realize this, right? If you are at a part in your business now where you're like, right, I need to, maybe build a team myself, whether you have a business that supports your acting career, or whether it's in your acting career, or whether you have a theatre company, short film production company, or whatever it is, and you need to bring people on board. We bring people on board to speed up tasks, to make us more efficient. However, what you have to realize, and this is just the way it is, and I think why I've been putting this off for some time, is for 60 or 90 days, around about that time, I would imagine, my intuition tells me anyway, of bringing a new person on board, your business is actually going to slow down, because you have to then put in a disproportionate amount of time to train the new person you are bringing on board. However, once you have trained them sufficiently, then they become incredibly useful and your output can literally double. But I think for me, I've been like, right, I can't slow down right now, even though I know that's exactly what I need to do. So excuse me, that's what I've been focusing on this week, bringing someone on board who's actually going to film this vlog for me. So I'm not actually going to be holding the camera myself for a lot of the time. There's going to be, it sounds mental again, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? But there's literally going to be somebody following me around with a camera, documentary style, fly on the wall. Occasionally there'll be bits to camera from me. But most of it is going to be like, you are just there in meetings that I have, in voiceover sessions that I have. I can't take you in the audition room. I can take you, depending on what day I have an audition, to the audition door in terms of the building. I don't even have the audacity to take a camera into the reception room at an audition. Do you think there's a better time to train someone like during a slow period, says Tony? I honestly think, Tony, it's like, I think if we ever believe in stuff like that, like there is a more appropriate time. I mean, there would be a more appropriate time if it was like, over Christmas and New Year, where everybody is off and there's nobody around and no one would want to work with you. I mean, okay, it's probably not the best time to bring somebody new on board. But sometimes when I've been thrown in at the deep end in various environments when it's been really, really busy and almost they haven't had time to train me, you learn on the job. That can be just as valuable. How I got into being a casting assistant over here in the UK was literally the first day I went in to assist a casting director here. He said, right, you're in charge of this commercial because I've got this one to deal with. And I was like, well, I've never sorted a casting out in my life. I have no idea how it works. But over 3 days of intense kind of pressure, I guess, for me back then. I was very young at the time. I was about 24. I learned, and I learned fast. It still took a few months to get really into it. But, had he come in and just gone, right, okay, we'll do an hour here, an hour there. I just had like a massive crash course in the space of 3 days. Cast an advert from start to finish, and we got a really good result out of it. So sometimes, regardless of the situation, you've just got to do it and just go, listen, it's going to be crazy, but I'm going to bring you on board now. Just observe, do your best, let's go. And then they'll see what your business is like at its worst, effectively, then, Tony. So it might be a good call. But I know that's the thing that is, going to be the key to me unlocking a bigger business for myself and having more impact. Okay, so are you the biggest blockage in your business or career? Do you need to team up with other people? That's my question for lesson number 2. And let me know if you think you do, Are you like a filmmaker who's trying to do everything on his own? You're trying to film it, you're trying to light it, you're trying to do the sound, you're trying to edit it, you're doing all your promotion, all your social media, everything like that. Are you an actor who's doing everything for himself as well? You're editing your own show reel, you're trying to film your own self-tapes. Do you actually need to call on some other people? Because even if you can't, I'm not saying like, people say, oh yeah, but I can't because I can't pay them. We're not talking about that. What can you swap with them? What services can you go, you know what, if you always read in for my self-tapes, I'm always going to be there to read in for your self-tapes. Or, you know what, I'm not very good at editing, but I've got this bit of kit, this microphone, for instance, or something like that. I'll let you use this if you edit my 60-second Insta reel or whatever it is, and you can swap and just team up with other people to increase your output. My reasons are kind of long, but if you follow me on social networks, you may have an idea why. What's that, Evan? For what? For what? Not teaming up with people yet, or you mean because you need to team up with people? Let us know. But yeah, it's just become very apparent that literally I am the biggest building block, stumbling block, hurdle, whatever you want to call it, in the way of my business getting any bigger. I've taken it to the point where on my own, I just can't do it. So Evan says, yeah, I could do with team ups. Well, search for it, man. My next point in a minute is going to kind of highlight that's absolutely possible, and that's exactly what you should be doing. So that was lesson number 2, guys. Basically, you can't do everything on your own. You shouldn't, and you know what? Doing it with other people, teaming up with them, that is often very good fun. And I know I'm going to have a great laugh. Basically, having other people in the team, helping me achieve this. Point number 3. One of my favourite lessons of all of this, and just a lesson of life that I've always known, really, to be honest. People will underestimate you, and I effing love it. I've written on the screen there for all you on the audio experience. I absolutely love it. Okay, not everybody thinks what I'm going to do is a good idea. And that clarifies to me that it's exactly not what I just should do, but what I must do. Okay, the most successful people in the world are the disruptors. Okay, they don't follow the rules, they do things differently, and that makes them dangerous. Okay, I've no idea where this vlog will take me, but whether it's the done thing or, in the acting industry, because that's what I'm being told. Oh, is it the done thing, though? Whether it's the done thing in the acting industry or not, I'm doing it, and I don't give a shit. I really could not care. Love that it motivates you, says Tony. It really does, mate, because I'm like, sometimes where I've been out, I've done a couple of practice vlogs here as well for this, and I've taken the camera out, and I've turned it on myself, and I've walked through town talking to this camera, and it's a pretty big camera. It's a decent camera. It's very obvious. And the looks you get, and people kind of, sometimes will shout things or that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm getting negativity or I'm getting some kind of jaunts or people, are thinking this is odd, then it's absolutely the thing that I should be doing, because it means it's different. People obviously aren't seeing it that much. And it suggests to me that I'm probably doing something right if that is their reaction to what I am doing, okay? And that's what it has been. I've had so many people support me, as we're going to see in a minute, but there's definitely been a few other people who are worried that it's not the done thing. They're like, well, what are you? Are you an actor? Are you a presenter? Or what are you? Why are you doing this? Is it like a reality show, or what you're trying to be? It's like, I don't know what it is. I just know it feels like it's the right thing to do, okay? And I feel I'm doing it for the right reasons, to inspire other people, to pull the curtain back and actually show you what I do, how hard I'm working, and hopefully it can teach other people some tricks, some tactics, some things that they might want to do. When others think you're wrong, you're doing something right, says Tony. I think it's true, man. Honestly, they will follow or copy in the end, says Fanny. Yeah, it's true, and I think we will see a few people doing that, and I always think, you know what, that's great, because you can never beat what you copy. So what are you holding back from because people are telling you that it isn't the done thing, all right? Who the beep, I'm going to try and stop dropping the F-bomb, but who the F wants the done thing anyway? I mean, it's been done. Been done so many times before. Why do you want to just do it again? And I think the people who are telling me it's not the done thing are almost a little bit worried, I think to a certain extent, that that I'm going to expose some kind of stuff. And I think there's some people in life who are where they are because they're blagging it, and they are afraid that if people kind of open up, so for me to open literally my life up completely, if I was a different kind of person, I think I'd be like, oh, well, this could be dangerous, because what if other people see flaws in me? What if people see that I'm this, I'm that, or I'm not really this, or I'm not really that? I think the people who have told me, oh, it's not necessarily the done thing, are afraid of, being exposed for not being as good as they actually pretend that they are. And that's just, it's just nonsense, isn't it? It's absolutely why I know I've got to do this. what was that? Someone? Oh no, that's another comment from Steve. I'm not reading out. But yeah, I just think we don't want to see the done thing again and again and again and again, do we? So there will be that thing in your life right now, I promise you. And for some reason, it's because I don't know why people see the acting industry as something so precious. Like, you can't possibly upset anyone. You can't do anything that isn't the done thing, or, oh, you mustn't do that, that's stepping outside of the line, because what if one person in the industry who might happen to be a director or a casting director or an agent doesn't like it? If you went through your life like that, in general, you'd never do anything. So just because these people have a job, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And for me, it almost makes it more compelling. Because if they don't want anything to do with me because of something literally, because of a positive force like this, it's like, well, you know what, I'll do it on my own. It's absolutely fine. If this threatens you, then it's cool. I don't want to work or be around you anyway. So yeah, don't let people talk you out of shit, either for their own insecurities, or because it hasn't worked for them, or because of their own fears. Or whatever it may be. Do it for you. If it feels right and you're doing it for the right reason, and it's a force for good, and you feel that it's going to have positive impact, do it, because people will down the line. This has happened with Bulletproof Actor. I was told by a couple of really influential people in the industry that Bulletproof Actor, the mindset program that I launch once or twice a year, you can go to bulletproofactor.com if you want to find out more about it, would not be welcomed by certain people in the industry because I was empowering the wrong kind of people. And I mean, I'm like, who the fuck are you to say that there are people in this world who don't need empowering if they are actors just trying to make a better life for themselves? I'm not talking about Kim Jong-un. I'm not going to let him on the course. I don't want him. I don't want to coach him. But great people who just aren't confident. People who, have massive potential, but just want to fulfill their dreams, but haven't to this point, got their mindset right. And I'm like, this is insane. And yet 2 years later, when they have seen what success that course has been and how groundbreaking it's been for people, those same people are promoting my program. And that's just how it is, because they've seen that all of their fears were completely unjust and unjustified. It was actually other people's fears that they were honouring, really. So this is going to be exactly the same thing, I think. All those people are like, oh, is that really the done thing, Ross? I think in 6 months' time are going to be like subscribed and watching, and they're going to want to be on the vlog. So that's just what I can see it already. That's what I believe is going to happen. So if you've got something in your life where you're like, I'm holding back from this because I feel that maybe the odd person might be afraid of it or threatened by it or think it's not the done thing, do it, because 99% of people will be behind you. Don't listen to the 1% who aren't. Lesson number 4. Beautiful lesson I've learned this week. I learned it. It was hit home yesterday. I am surrounded by winning players, and without them, I would be nothing. I include everybody who's watching this right now, everyone who's listening to this right now, in this group of people. Thank you so much for being here and supporting what I do. So in complete opposition to lesson 3, I have never been aware, I've never been more aware, it should say on that slide, of how many winning players I have in my life. Dozens of people literally reaching out to help me, messaging me all the time. What can I do for you? Can I do this? Could you need help with that? Over 100 people yesterday liking the new vlog page within 25 minutes. So I needed, in order to claim that URL, which was facebook.com/watchross, to actually get that URL, you need 25 likes on your page before it will let you grab a unique URL. Otherwise, it'd be facebook.com/ross-grant46369769666 dot whatever. It's not really a great, compelling URL to give out, is it? So in order for me to get facebook.com/watchross, I needed 25 likes on the page, which means obviously I had to put it out early, which is why it's live now before episode 1 is out. Over 100 people liked it within 25 minutes because I posted once in the Facebook group that we've got. And that's it. How many have you got now? I don't know how many I've got now, Dawn. It's definitely over 100 though. But it's just lovely to know that there's people, there basically if you need them, which is great. So thank you very, very much for that. Do really appreciate you all. And it is so important to surround yourself with winning players. And this goes back to the whole thing that Jim Rohn said so many years ago, and we spoke about so many times, is that you are the average of the 5 people you're spending the most time with. If you're spending most of your time with 5 losing players in your team, you've got to spend less time with them. I'm not saying cut them out of your life. You've got to spend less time. So Fanny's saying, can you change the URL on Facebook? So you're allowed 1 free change, Fanny, per Facebook account. So if you've had a page in the past and you've already changed a name on it, I think that counts as your 1. However, if you want to change, is a little hack, guys, for everyone listening, anyone who cares. If you've got a Facebook page with the URL right now, and you're not allowed to change it from your own profile, here's a hack. Find a friend who is not interested in having a Facebook page, or create an account for your mum or your sister, or a fake account, effectively, under a new email address. Then make that person an admin in your page. An admin, they have to be an administrator, the highest level of permission. They will then have that 1 free change on their account. So once you've made them an administrator, log in as them, go to your page, change the URL, and then delete the person from being an administrator. That works, but you can only do it once per account, as far as I know. It's a bit of a silly rule, really, by Facebook, but that's one way to get around it. But check, because you might already still have 1 in the bag, Fanny, that you can still use if you've not used that in the past to change a URL. So yeah, facebook.com/watch Ross if you want to if you want to watch. Fanny's saying, do you suggest anything in particular for a URL? I just think, really, like, for me, it was the simpler the better. I mean, honestly, just like, you've got to imagine, people have got to type a URL in. So if if you have, like, so Fanny, you do your improv, dare and share, which you could have on facebook.com/improv, dare and share. People have got to type that in, though. So maybe I don't know if it's available, you could have facebook.com/improv. But you've got to remember that people, particularly on mobile, are typing these things in. I mean, Facebook's a little different because you've got an app for your mobile and you can search for things quite easily. But any website address or business that you're coming up with, you've got to be mindful of, like, what your .com is going to be, or whatever your address is. actonthis.tv. 3 very simple words, quite short. Bulletproofactor.com, to be honest, it's only 2 words, but, I guess that's quite long. But you've just got to be mindful. You wouldn't have, like, I don't know, Sally and George Clothing Company.com. I mean, that's just a pain in the arse to write, isn't it? But if you've got a personal fan page, I would always just go, if you can, just go with your name. I mean, I couldn't have Ross A. Grant, which I would normally have on every other social media platform, because some guy had got it who's not used the bloody platform since 2013, but I couldn't claim that. But I thought, you know what, because it's going to be a watch page and it's where people are just going to watch the vlog, that's the only thing they're going to go to do there, that having /watch Ross is probably a cool idea, because it tells you exactly, couldn't be more simple, it tells you exactly what you're going to find there. I think my profile URL is emo me. So what? 1 bullet to the heart. Time to change me thing. Evan, yeah, I mean, change it, mate. You can change it if you want. If you just want to you want to make it shorter. Ross Bulletproof Grant says, Fanny, no, it's too long, Fanny. But yeah, I think watch Ross. I mean, I've got it now. Not changing it. Done. Done is better than perfect. /watch Ross is what I'm sticking with. But yeah, that was just a little lesson for me. There's so many great people out there, and we have never had it. I don't care what people think of society today. We have never had it better when it comes to accessing support. Like, if you look for help and support, you will find it. If you don't, you won't. It's as simple as that. People are like, I feel so alone, and I've got no support, and I've got no friends around me, this kind of stuff. You know what? Kind of like, there's times in my life I've kind of been there where I've felt like that. But it's because I've been doing jack shit about it. I've been sat at home on my arse, expecting something to happen. People will not just walk into your life and go, oh, how can I help you? I will, a lot of the time. But there's not that many people, like, who are going to do that. So you've got to find it, we've got an incredible Facebook group of actors. If you're anything to do with the acting industry, facebook.com/groups /ActOnThisTV. There's nearly 7,000 people there right now. And it's so positive. I mean, I had to kick someone out the other day, actually, because they were being a bit negative. Someone posted some headshots. Some person was just an absolute fucking loser. Gave them just really, not constructive criticism, just criticism. And I don't even give yellow cards out in that group. I don't like, a few other groups go, oh, right, I'm going to delete your comment and then I'm going to send you a message and go, oh, maybe you shouldn't put that. Bullshit. I'm just going to kick you out. It's as simple as that. I have not got time. I've told you tonight how maxed out I am with shit. I've not got time to fanny around playing teacher when people come into the group and just be bellends. To put it bluntly, you're just gone. I will just kick you out. And also, anyone listening, I know none of you would ever do this, but like people who come into the group, join, because it says like brand new member under their profile the minute they've joined. If you come into that group and the first post you post is I'm doing an acting class, give me 65 quid, you can fuck right off as well, because you are gone. Literally completely gone. It's mental, You just don't do that. At what point is that ever practical where you go, I'm going to join a community and the first thing I'm going to do is ask for their money? It's just rude. It's built up around Acts on This. I don't even ask for your money. I hardly ever advertise any of the features that I do on Acts on This that are paid for features in that group. It's my group. It's not my group. I'm the admin, but it's all of our group. But it's just ridiculous. People just think that that's the right thing to do. Go, yeah, I'm just going to basically just pop on. I'm not even going to say, hi guys, hope everybody's well. They don't even write that. Or thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me in the group. They just write, oh, I'm doing this new thing. It's 65 quid. Bullshit. No, you're not. Or you're doing it somewhere else, mate. So that was that slide. Yeah, we've never had it better. If you want support, come and ask for support in the Facebook group. We're all there, 7,000 of us, ready to give it you. Even if, you know what, it's not to do with your acting career. You know what, maybe you're just feeling a bit shit about something else. Doesn't matter if you go off topic, I don't care. As long as people are being supportive and positive to each other. If you've got a problem in any part of your life, just post in the group. There's 7,000 human beings. Don't just look at them just as actors. 7,000 human beings in that group. And we all go through the same stuff. So yeah, come and ask for help. People are asking, so Dawn was asking about the clothing line that I'm bringing out. Well, you're going to find out more about this on the vlog, Dawn. It is at the beginning. It is just a male brand because I don't know women's fashion. I told you before, I'm not a fashionista even for men, but women's fashion I know even less about. My business partner, Sean, however, knows a lot about both. So maybe, well, he actually wants to do a female brand further down the line. Can't tell you the brand name just yet, in case someone else copies us. But yeah, it's something that probably we will do eventually. The first clothes that we're going to have for sale, the first kind of items are going to be t-shirts. Very nice fitted t-shirts for the guys. There's going to be some quite unique, cool things about them. I can't really say anything about just yet, but you should hopefully, we're going to get them out in time for Christmas, because Christmas is obviously a good time of year for people to buy gifts for people, and it's going to be a busy time for e-commerce. So I would say we're aiming for the 1st of December to get the first line. And they're going to be really limited runs as well. Like initially, it's going to be like 10 of each. So it's like really limited. And the first ones will even have labels on them that are sewn on that say first edition. So that, it's a really one-off piece of clothing that will never be available again. So it is cool. And then when you buy a product, you get access to a secret group as well, where you can buy other product that no one else can buy unless they've already bought a piece of product. Do they have a Ross Grant logo? They don't. The logo is nothing to do with me, Gary. I'm not going to tell you the brand name just yet because it's not been trademarked. But I think you're going to like it. It's cool. It's just cool. It's classy. It's traditional. It's nothing edgy or weird or urban or kind of, new age. We like real classical style gentlemen. I'm too old for all the new age shit. It's like real, well-fitted, great quality t-shirts. We're going to do shirts as well, some knitwear as well, and tailored suits, literally from scratch. So if you want to tailor a suit made entirely from scratch, then we can do that for you as well. Rag, Fanny is saying, R-A-G, Ross Andrew Grant, Rag. Yeah, my dad realised on the way to getting I've never been christened, getting me registered after I was born, obviously, realised on the way that my initial would be Rag. Guess it is quite apt for a clothing thing, but I don't know. I think we're going to stick with the brand that we've got. And Dawn's got 2 boys and a hubby to buy, so she'll buy them. Excellent. Everyone buy them. They're fellas. Not too pricey, Caroline. Caroline's asking about the price. Not too pricey. Premium, but not like where you go into Selfridges. We went into Selfridges to look at the competition. There was T-shirts in there for 100 quid that were absolute dog shit. Really bad quality. When you realise as well the cost of clothing, literally from scratch, what it costs, you'll never look at clothing in a store again in the same way. Because I'm seeing things in stores, I'm going, I know that T-shirt's been made for 6 quid, and you're trying to sell it me for 100. That's not on. That's really, really not on. Yeah, no, they're not going to be 100. They're going to be, well, they'll be less than half of that. And they're going to be super premium as well. Like, we're not cutting corners on anything to do with the T-shirts at all. Everything's going to be ethical, fair trade cotton. Really, really good quality. These aren't going to fall apart when you wash them. These will be T-shirts that you will wear again and again and again. And, you know, if you're going on any Tinder dates, trust me, these are going to be dynamite. Anyway, we digest. No, we don't. We digress. Maybe we do digest as well if you had some food. Lesson number 5, guys. Let's get back onto this. Lesson number 5. This is the 5th and final lesson of what I've learned over the last 8 weeks. You'll learn lots by watching others. You learn more by just doing it yourself. Right? So after deciding to shoot a weekly vlog, I started to consume other online vlogs because there's a shit ton of people doing it. I've not come up with this idea as like, this is my idea. I feel I'm probably the only one in our space doing it. But yeah, there's a shitload online. I've learned so much from watching other people's successes and failures at vlogging, but nowhere near as much as I learned from taking the camera out for the first time. Because knowing, you know, the theory and actually doing it are so different, okay? They're completely different. Knowing the theory is completely different to putting in the practice. So once again, you only get better by taking the shots yourself. And I don't mean shots as in with a camera necessarily on that. I know it's a bit of a pun there. But literally, you know, aiming and then shooting. If you spend forever aiming, you never take that shot. And I've, you know, like I said, point number 1, I nearly fell into that of like, you just, you know, I could have continued to be aiming for the next 9 months before I took a shot. It's time to just shoot and just see what happens, see where the ball goes or the arrow goes or whatever. You know, you've just got to launch ultimately. And I feel sometimes, you know what, if you're not embarrassed by the first iteration of what you put out, then you probably waited too long, to be honest. Spoke about this on Monday, didn't we? Fanny had seen some old videos from a feature I ran on Act on This 8 years ago called Question of the Week. And I look at my delivery and my style, and I'm just like, oh, God. Presenting-wise, you know, I'm just embarrassed by those videos. But at the time, I was like, yeah, man, these are great. But it's, yeah, you know, it is what it is. You know, I had to put those out. Otherwise, I'd have been waiting another 8 years to get to where I am. And, you know, I wouldn't have done anything for 8 years. So, yeah, you only get better by taking the shots yourself. So I cannot wait to get this out there. It's only 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks, okay? Go to facebook.com/Watch Ross to get ready. Leave me any comments on the page if there's anything in particular you want to see in my life. I'm going to start filming the first vlog tomorrow, or parts of the first vlog tomorrow. I'm going to a meeting with a brand designer and a meeting with my business partner Sean on the clothing label, because you're going to see all of that. It's not just going to be my acting stuff. You're going to see literally just my life, basically. Other things in my life right now are buying an apartment. That's a big thing in my life that I'm going through right now. Other things are behind the scenes of all the podcasts that I do and all of the interviews that I do for actsonthis.tv, voiceover stuff. If anyone see morning routine, well, yeah, you know what? I mean, morning routine, it's very, very quick now, because basically I do all the prep the night before. So I can show you what's, you know, how I prepare for the next day. Will we see any Ross dating adventures, says Tony? Tony, mate, you know what? Maybe. Went on a cheeky little date last week. Maybe, don't know how she would have felt. You know what? I told her about the vlog, though, and she was like, can't wait to watch it. So maybe I'll like just take the camera out with me anyway. It's what would be good is my camera's quite good in low light, and as you all know, with my eye condition, my eyes aren't good in low light. So when I'm going out on things like that, and you go into a bar and it's quite dark, if I had the camera, I could just hold the camera up and see via the camera. So that'd be pretty good. Definitely. But no, I don't know. I would definitely, maybe you could film it covertly, then get get them to sign a form afterwards to say that it was fine to release. No, I'd never do that. I just never do that. Definitely. I'm only kidding. Honestly, there'll be no girls will go anywhere near me now, Tony. Look what you've done. They're not going to be like, nah, I'm not going out with him because he's going to film everything. But yeah, we'll see. I'm going to open. I reckon, honestly, like literally 99% of my life you're going to get access to. I've got nothing to hide. Maybe that makes me quite boring. But I've literally got like nothing. Like I've got no skeletons in the closet. This is what I love actually about the way I've lived my life. Is when anyone got shit on me. Like literally, you know what? If anyone ever had a vendetta against me, go and trawl back through my life. You ain't ever going to find a single piece of scandal because I feel I've just lived my life from a pure place. It doesn't mean I've never made mistakes. I've made lots. Every day I make mistakes, but you know, I've never like screwed anybody over. I've never broken the law. I'm so sheltered my life basically. So yeah, I'll open the whole thing up to you guys, and hopefully you won't find it like super boring though, and go actually he never does anything. I've got a few skeletons knocking about, says Steve. Need to clear them out before the cop shop turns up. Fingers crossed, Steve. Absolutely. For those, for the benefit of those watching, I'm sure he's joking. Don't call the police. So to recap, my 5 lessons. Lesson number 1: looking for perfect stops you from doing anything. Full stop. Just does. What do you say, Tony? Tony uses this hashtag not perfect a lot. And that's really true, man. Like, I always say done is better than perfect. Looking for perfection is just bullshit. It just stops you from doing anything. Lesson number 2, you can't do everything on your own. I know that. I need help from other people. Thank you all for being here and helping me, like, just in everything that you do. Just being here watching this helps me immensely. It just motivates me to keep doing this. And you guys, you know what? If I felt I had no one to even show the vlog to, I wouldn't do it. So you guys are all a massive, like, motivator in me just doing this full stop. Number 3, people will underestimate you. Love that. Please love that. I wrote an article on actonthis.tv all about Sylvester Stallone and the story behind him writing Rocky. And it's called, let me just look it up now, because I'd love you to just go and listen. You can listen to the story. I wrote an article and then I posted a video at the very bottom of the page that you can just listen to Tony Robbins tell the story of Sly Stallone and Rocky. It's one of the most, I don't know if it's been fabricated or not, it's one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard in my life. I'm just going to look. So if you go into actonthis.tv, click the little 3 lines in the top left-hand corner, and in the search bar that pops out, just type Rocky. And there's an article, the first result will come up, it says, Acting in the Underdog, the story of Rocky. And I've written all about the story. If you're a reader, read it. If you're not a reader and you can't be arsed, scroll all the way to the bottom of the... I should put that video probably at the top, to be honest. But scroll all the way to the bottom of the article, and you'll see a video there with the Acts on This logo on it. Hit play, and you'll hear Tony Robbins, just audio, talk you through the story. It's incredible. I love being the underdog because it means that no one expects jack shit from you. So then you just blow them out of the water and they're like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. I'm going to take that guy seriously now. And then it's too late. So I'm like, don't wait, take me seriously. Job done. Somebody did that to me today. I'm not going to talk to you about who it was. But I had an email back that basically, I know I could help these people. And it would be a good hookup for me and them. But effectively fobbed me off. Because I don't think they knew or hadn't looked at my stuff and knew what I could do in terms of... this is online business. This isn't acting. And I'm like, right, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And you're going to be so gutted in 3 months' time. We're like, oh, actually, yeah, we will do that thing. And I'll go, no, you won't. No, not interested. I'm going to find somebody else. Because you're just rude. But yeah, I love it. I really enjoy people underestimating me. I love people telling me no. Because I'm like, I just follow it up with, I told you so, every single time. And it just, you know, sometimes having a little bit of a chip on your shoulder is a positive thing. I wouldn't recommend it in the grand scheme of things. You don't want to be walking around with a chip on your shoulder. But, you know, if you just want to use that for a small amount of time to just fuel you, to work harder, hustle more, fucking do it. I swear it's, it works. Point number 4, surrounding yourself with winning players is critical. We know all about it. If you surround yourself with losers, you've lost. Start surrounding yourself. With winning players. Get some winning players on your team. If you don't have many winning players on your team, go and find some, please. Find other people who want to achieve what you want to achieve, who have aspirations as big as yours or bigger. Don't hang out with your loser friends, who are telling you you shouldn't do it, it can't be done, it's not the done thing. What if you lose? What if you waste money? What if this happens, that happens? Forget them, right? You're only here for a short time. Just do it. As Carey said, you can fail at what you don't want. And then point number 5, you learn lots by watching, but even more by taking the shots yourself. You can watch Beckham take, free kicks all day, every day, and probably learn quite a lot from seeing him do it and what he does. You ain't going to learn nearly as much as if you just step up and kick that ball yourself. Metaphorically speaking, that is. So whatever it is that you want to do it yourself. You can watch for a while, definitely get inspiration, get motivated by other people, but then you've just got to get out there and do it yourself. You've got to take those shots on your own. Stephen says, sod Beckham, all about De Bruyne. No idea who that is, Stephen. I've got about as much interest in football as, I don't know, my mum, who hates it. Couldn't think of a better example. Just don't do footy, mate, to be honest with you. Let's end on this. Great quote. You'll all know it from Helen Keller. You probably all know who Helen Keller was. A bit of an activist, American author, just all-round legend. Says, look, life is either a great adventure or nothing. And that's it. Look at that. There's done is better than perfect. I didn't even close the speech marks on that quote, but there you go. Done is better than perfect. Life is either a great adventure or nothing. Give me some hearts on Periscope if you like that. Some comments on Facebook if you like that. If you believe in that. Because it is. I mean, it's literally it. Just is. I can see Kev. My main man Kev is on Facebook. Kev, great to see you here. Thanks for joining us. Kev is going to be hosting the London Act on This TV meetup this Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Is it, Kev? Oh, God. There's an event on facebook.com/Act on This TV on the Act on This page, not the group. Okay, you'll find it on the page. facebook.com/Act on This TV. Go to that page, and then you will see an events tab on the left-hand side if you're on desktop, or you'll have to scroll through if you're on your phone. And let me just have a look at when this actually is, so I can give all you London folk the correct info. So it is this Wednesday, 7 p.m, and I'll get the location. Benugo Bar and Kitchen, British Film Institute on South Bank in London, 7 till 10. It's a little informal meet-up. We do these in Manchester. I run them in Manchester, and they're getting bigger than ever now. We get like 30, 40 people there. There's 34 people interested in going to this one, Kev. Kev's going to be hosting it with another Act on This member, Liz, I think. So they're going to be there from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. It's just like, go down, network, surround yourself with winning players like we talked about tonight. Have a glass of wine or a soft drink, whatever you want to do. Not a problem. No one's judging you. If you want to go and get smashed, that's completely fine as well. But yeah, you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to start networking with like-minded people who want what you want, So please do support Kev and Liz and Melanie. Big shout out to Melanie as well, who normally would be running these with Kev. They were the only two who turned up to the first one. Bless them. Just two. But you know what? You've got to operate from that place where 1 is better than 0. So 2's even better than that. And now together, fingers crossed, they'll be... hopefully, Kev, if you don't mind, mate, you want to go to them regular. You and Mel and Liz can host them all, which would be wicked. So he says, so Kev says, along with Liz Hammond, yep, 7 p.m. Yeah, so it says 34 people are interested in going, Kev. Take it with a pinch of salt, mate. I've had people, 80 people say they're going to go to the Acts on This ones in Manchester. People suddenly find out 10 minutes beforehand that they've got something else to do. Well, it's because they don't really, you know what? I'm like this all the time, if you really want to improve your career and you really want to meet people who are going to help you do that, you find a way to get there. If you don't really want to improve your career and you don't really want to meet new people, and actually enhance your life, you just find an excuse. And that's what a lot of people unfortunately do, Kev. But your consistency wins them over in the end. So it's taken me 3 years of running the Acts on This Manchester meetup, to start getting really decent turnouts. Back in the day, it was literally me and my main man, Eric James Dean. There was just 2 of us there many weeks. But I just went anyway, because I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to go and have a brew, and there's at least going to be someone else there. So massively applaud you, mate, for A, showing up that first week, and B, running with this and actually being there this week and hopefully many weeks to come. So please support Kev. I'll make a little post in the Facebook group as well about that in a bit, Kev, to remind people. It is in just 2 days' time. So join me next time, guys. I'm going to come on camera in a minute for a tiny little bit of Q&A. It's already just gone 10 o'clock. But join me next time on Periscope or on Facebook. You can tune in on Wednesday night to the book club on twitter.com/ActOnThisTV, facebook.com/ActOnThisTV, 9 p.m. It was always 9 p.m. UK time, that is. Or if you want to tune in on Periscope as well, the app itself that's owned by Twitter is periscope.tv/ActOnThisTV, and you'll be able to actually use the app on your phone for Periscope, which is pretty cool. So there you go. I'm back on camera. So thank you. I hope that's been useful, and I just can't wait to actually put this first vlog out. I've got everything set up. Look, I've even been charging up. What have we got here? I've been charging up this microphone. Oops. That's the remote control for the drone as well. There. There's a little drone you can see in the background, top of my printer there. Going to be getting drone shots. Got the camera. So it's quite a big camera, so when I'm carrying that around, pointing it at myself, you get stares from people. But I'm like, you know what? It means you're doing something right, doesn't it? Because obviously people aren't seeing this a lot yet, so you're being a disruptor. And right now, disruptors win, Uber, they're the most disruptive company, probably the last decade. They've won. Who thought, 10 years ago, we go, oh, you know what, yeah, rather than actually, get my daughter of 17 years old and give her driving lessons and give her a car and teach her how to drive, it's going to be much safer if I actually just get her an Uber account and put her in cars with strangers. I know loads of parents who are doing that, though. They're like, no, it's safer because there's no temptation for her going out or a friend, having a drink and being tempted to drive or all this kind of stuff. Mental. That's disruptive. Karen says they may be banned in London. I can't see it. I think, you know what that is? That's just whinging taxi drivers going, this is unfair. Well, you know what? Life's unfair. You've just got to adapt. If the market is the market, Caroline. It's not Uber who have done anything wrong. Because if Uber came along and gave everybody this service and nobody wanted it, no one would buy it. They've not come in and put a gun to someone's head and go, get in an Uber, not a black cab. They've just offered a service and the whole world has gone crazy for it. I use Uber all the time because for me, it's more convenient, it's better, I don't have to carry cash, I can see where the driver is, I know his name before he turns up, I know the license plate, the car, it's fair, fares are cheaper. Karen says there's issues with a tax every 11 days in London, but you know what, the problem isn't just taxiing. If you are, if people are of that nature, of going, you know what, I'm just a bad person, I'm going to go out and just, sexually attack somebody, then they'll find a way. They'll just get a taxi and just register a private taxi. The fact that it's happening in Uber is probably because there's a shitload of Uber cars driving around, so statistically it's going to seem like more than anywhere else. But it's just because of the volume of Uber that there is. But I think the market dictates in life what happens, and the market is like, I want this service, thus it's going to get, it's going to be around. Steve says, well, that escalated. Yeah, it did. We went from lessons of vlogging to crimes in Uber cars. But yeah, I just think you've got to adapt. If something comes around and the market want it, it's here to stay. 30,000 Uber drivers in London alone, says Caroline. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Huge numbers there. So 11 out of those 30,000 are bad men. It's just the human condition, isn't it? Unfortunately, I'd string them up and chop the bits off, and then probably just shoot them in the head, to be honest, as well. But yeah, there's obviously no excuse for that. But I don't think it's Uber that's causing that. I think that's just bad human beings finding a way. So yeah, as now we put the world to rights, going to end on something happy. Let's end on Michael Hyatt again. He's a happy guy, isn't he? Look at this lad here. If you've not done this productivity thing, go and do it. Act.network/am I productive. take you less than 10 minutes to do this, and it's going to tell you which areas of your life you need to focus more on to be more productive. It's going to give you a little personality test, a personality type within productivity. And then Michael's going to do some webinars. I can't wait, actually, because I think I'm doing one either tomorrow night or Thursday night of his free webinar. Gary said he's just done it. Awesome, Gary. Michael's going to do a webinar this week, multiple ones depending on what time you can make it. Remember, he's in America, so if you're registering for a webinar, he's in Central Time America, which I think is 6 hours behind the UK. So when it says 10 a.m. his time, that's really 4 p.m. our time in the UK if you're in the UK. So just be aware of that when you are registering if you're going to do one of his free webinars. But he's got something like the 7 deadly sins of like productivity and like what people do to not be productive. Great guy, Michael, mentor of mine. Love the guy. He's been a huge influence in my life. Helped me with lots of stuff. And he does this. I just got one of these through. It's called a full focus planner. This is his, because I like to write stuff down. It's taken him like a couple of years to actually, you can't see that on camera really, can you? To develop, but this full focus planner, he sends you one every quarter, and then literally it helps you. I'm going to start using this. I'll vlog about this as well. It helps you really plan out your day and your weekend as well. Your weekend optimizer for if you want to actually replenish and rejuvenate on the weekend as opposed to just carrying on hustling. But it's got things like your daily big 3, the things that you need to do, other tasks that you're working on, workday startup ritual. Sometimes just writing. I like writing stuff down as opposed to it all being digital sometimes. So I'm going to start using this and see what it does for me. It's got little quotes in it as well. It says, everybody ends up somewhere in life. A few people end up somewhere on purpose. Those are the ones with vision. That's a quote by Andy Stanley. Everyone ends up somewhere in life. A few people end up somewhere on purpose. So live your life with purpose, guys. That's a nice little positive thing to end on, isn't it? So thank you for joining me. I'll be back on Wednesday night, 9 p.m, same time for the book club. Please let me know if I can help you with anything. Just pipe up in the Facebook group, and I'm going to get out tomorrow and begin shooting this vlog. God knows what's going to happen. I have literally no idea, but come join me for the ride, and fingers crossed it'll all work out all right. I hope. I'm just going to get myself over on Facebook here so I can end this broadcast properly. I never do this, do I? Never line this up so I can end this smoothly and with panache. There you go. I think we're going to be ready to end it in a second. There you go. Awesome. So thanks once again. You guys are fantastic. I wouldn't be doing this vlog if it wasn't for you. I hope you're going to enjoy it, and I'll be back Wednesday night. Until then, have an amazing one. And I'm not going to read Steve's last comment out. Well done, Steve. Have a good one, mate. Bye for now.